Hello and welcome to MIDAS tutorials. In this tutorial I'm going to show you some of the new features and improvements in MIDAS version 3.15. Now for this version we've overhauled the hours of operation settings for your venues. So to access those we go into MIDAS admin options, then we go to manage venues. Now in earlier versions of MIDAS you've been able to set an open from time and an open to time. So for example, if your venue was open from 9 till 5 Monday to Friday, you'd have been able to set 9 to 5. The problem arises if your venue needs to close for a portion of time, for example over lunch. In earlier versions of MIDAS it was not possible to do this. However, in 3.15 you now have much greater control over when your venues are open and closed. So for example, let's select room 5 here. You'll see a grid of green squares. This indicates that at present room 5 is available, it's open every day of the week. I can click a closed tick box here to close it on certain days. So for example, if I want to close room 5 on Saturdays and Sundays, I can do that. And you'll see the corresponding squares turn red, indicating closed. If then, for example, on Monday, room 5 is available from 9 till 5, we can left click on each of these squares to close the venue up until 9 AM in the morning. We'll leave these ones green, and then from 5 onwards we'll left click and turn them red. So on Mondays room 5 is only available between 9 and 5. Now let's say on Tuesday it's available from 9:30 till 4:30. Again we'll click squares with our left mouse button up until 9, and then because we want 9:30, if we right click on this square it will go up in increments of 15 minutes. If I right click once, you'll see that's now 9:15. Right click again, 9:30. So on Tuesday, room 5 doesn't open now until 9:30. And we want to close it from 4:30. So here's our 4 till 5 hour. Right click once, and that's from 4 till quarter past. Right click again from 4 till half past. Right click again, 4 till 4:45. Right click again and it's closed for the whole hour. If I right click again, you'll see it's now closed from 4:15 till 5. Right click again and you'll see now the right hand half of this square has turned red, indicating it's closed between 4:30 and 5, which is what we want. And then we want to close it from 5 onwards as well, so we'll click with the left button the rest of those squares. So let's take Wednesday now, and let's assume that on Wednesday you need to close your venue for lunch for an hour in the middle of the day. So we'll start by making it closed up until 9 AM. And then we also want to close it for an hour between 1 PM and 2 PM. And then our venue's going to close at 6 PM that night. So you can see it's much more powerful in version 3.15 to be able to precisely control when your venues are open and closed. The important thing to remember is if you left click, it closes a venue for an entire hour. If you right click, you can cycle through 15-minute increments. When you're done, of course, click Save Changes. And if I reselect venue 5, you'll see those changes have been saved. Again, back in the grid view, you'll now see as well room 5 on a Tuesday is closed between midnight and 9:30, which is indicated by this greyed out section here. And then again, it's closed from 4:30 until midnight. So this improvement was based on some feedback we received from some of our customers that would have liked more control over their hours of operation. So we've brought this to you in 3.15. Another request we often have is the ability to be able to reorder bookings in printouts. Now, if I click on the print icon here, you'll see that by default, today's bookings appear in chronological order. So for example, you can see the first booking here starts at 4, 6:15, 9 and 3 p.m. But in 3.15 we've given you more control over this, and you can sort these bookings in different orders. So if we go into MIDAS admin options, manage MIDAS, and click on the print tab, you'll see there's some new options here. So instead of sorting by times, we could instead sort by venues in either ascending or descending order. And we can also do a secondary sort as well. So if we wanted to sort firstly by venue and then by time, or venue and then by one of our other booking fields, we could do so here. So if I now click Save Changes, you'll see that our printouts have now changed to show the bookings in venue order instead of time order. One other feature that's made it into 3.15, again based on customer feedback, is the ability to limit the date range when using the Find Similar Bookings search feature. So if I select a booking, left click it, and select Modify Similar Bookings, in earlier versions of MIDAS this would then list all bookings from now until the end of time that match the booking you've selected. Now in 3.15 you can limit the range of bookings that are returned. The defaults are for the next month, but let's try changing this to the end of February and click Search, and you'll see this now only returns matching bookings between today, which is the 21st of February, and the end of the month. And that's a glimpse of some of the improvements that have made it into MIDAS version 3.15.